Oh, hello. Here we are in the Phasmophobia lobby. The reason you clicked on this video is obviously, of course, because you were interested in the game called Phasmophobia. Phasmophobia is a game about investigating and hunting down ghosts. Now, for a brief introduction around the lobby. Starting over here, we have the trophy cases. These are all the achievements for the current ghosts in the game, the Steam achievements, like these. The next one is about the other Steam achievements that are non-ghosts. The one over, we have seasonal trophies. As you can see, this is filmed before I have the Winter's Jest trophy in 2025 holiday season, as you can see from the tree. This next case is our first set of cursed objects, which will be explained in later videos. Our next set is the second set of cursed objects, the music box, monkey paw, tarot cards, magic, the cursed mirror. We also have the summoning circle candles, the voodoo doll, and the Ouija board. Then is a full bone collection. You see, these are bones from collected around the map as we play the game. Moving along, we have the equipment display. As you can see, there's every single piece of equipment, from sound recorders to spirit boxes to thermometers to crucifixes. This is all the game has to offer to help you find out the ghost type. Up next, we have the board. This is where, if you press space on your keyboard, if you're a PC player, you'll be able to access playing Phasmophobia and doing everything in the game. This is a select menu. You can see your daily tasks that reset every 24 hours and your weekly tasks that reset every 7 days. See, this is also the equipment. This is where you can buy equipment and put equipment in your truck for when you play the game. You can shop your equipment here. You can select a piece of equipment and then buy it using this button with the amount of money you have, as well as selecting the tier of equipment like this and putting in your truck with certain numbers of equipment. You also have quick loadouts, so you can quickly select a certain loadout of equipment for one of your runs. And you have multiplayer, so you can join online groups and create your own with friends, as well as join private game, create, join your own. Then we have the select board. Eventually, I'll just walk up to it. You can see the select board. As of right now, I have all the maps unlocked, but as you progress through the game, as you gain levels, as you can see from my card up here, I'm level 60. But as you start out, you only start out with Tanglewood, and as you progress in the game and level up, you will gain more and more and more maps, eventually getting all of them and being able to play small, medium, and large maps all alike. Then we come over here for the seasons. These are the seasonal points and the leaderboards about them. You see, I am quite lacking, but that is okay. Here's the goal board, where we have every challenge up to date in Phasmophobia. These include map challenges like Lighthouse Keeper with Point Hope, and Point Hope, Ranger Challenge for both camps, Farmhouse Works for Bleasdale Farmhouse and Grafton Farmhouse, Sunny Meadows Survival for Sunny Meadows Mental Institution, Neil's Diner, which is the newest map added to Phasmophobia, as well as the Apocalypse Challenges, which we'll get into in later videos. Just as for now, all you need to know is that these challenges are the hardest things that Phasmophobia has to offer. Next is the Achievement Hunter. Depending on which game you play on, you'll be able to get different amounts of achievements. As you can see in this menu here are my achievements so far. As well as, here's the events guide. So during the seasons, this explains what events do and how you earn points for them, as well as level up your event trophies, among other things. This is the season, Winter's Jest. You can see the community goals, where everyone works together to do this, to get the reward, as well as the upgradable event trophy, which everyone is still working towards. Our personal goals as well, which is the event ID card, and then upgrading your trophy that will eventually be given after the community as a whole wins the trophy. And that about sums it up for the lobby. Now, there are a couple secrets you could probably find out. You can see, if you peek into this room, you can see a early ghost model, which is part of the lore of the game, which is not very expansive. Here, you can also see, scraped into the table, JoJo was here, and I honestly have no idea what that means. And then finally, you can see your truck, which is the environment you will be seeing every single time you load up the game, as well as my recent photos and the equipment racks. As far as secrets go, there's not much else to say. That is all functional parts of the lobby, but one more thing to touch on. You can see a game corner and alcove to play with your friends. You see we have ring toss for this little corner here. I didn't obviously hit it. And then we have Jenga. Take out Jenga blocks and throw them away. Play Jenga with your friends, as well as bowling, strike, and beanbag toss, which is very hard. It's a lot more difficult than it looks. And as you saw at the beginning of this video, the basketball game, 240. I have been playing this game for a while. Anyways, now that's over with, let's get into the basic mechanics of the game. So after your initial lobby introduction, you can go ahead and start playing the game. Once you get into the original board, you will see 3 options. For our sakes, we'll be using training to explain all the basic mechanics. Alright, here we go. So this is your truck. This is obviously a watered down version of your truck, but this is the basics of what you'll be seeing every time you start a Phasmophobia match. Flashlights are very essential because this game is very dark and very gloomy, so you will be able to see much better with a flashlight, and you sometimes can get screwed over by just not having a flashlight in your inventory. Here we go. Our first mechanic is the ghost room. Our first goal is when entering a haunted location is to find the ghost's favorite room. This is the room where ghosts will spend the majority of its time. To summarize the rest of this, essentially, to find the ghost room, we'll be looking for all things that the ghost interacts with, including objects and doors. We can also interact with things ourselves, such as objects and doors. I can open and close this door. Next, we will start searching for the ghost room. Before I say it, I would like to see if you could spot it yourself. So I will slowly walk through, and I want you all to notice if the ghost throws things or interacts with things. Cold breath is also a very good example of the ghost room, as it will usually indicate falling temperature, which is something we will touch on in just a moment. Let's keep looking. Looks like it's not room number 1. Let's keep looking. Hey, look at that. In front of our flashlight, you can see cold breath. And while the ghost may have not thrown something, falling temperature is always going to be the prime determinant. Oh my god, can you edit this? Okay. Falling temperature is going to be what we use to determine the ghost room. So it is very good that we see cold breath in the room. Sanity. Sanity is another huge mechanic of this game. Basically, you and maximum of 3 other people have sanity bars on this screen. The screen will usually be in your truck. But for our purposes, it is right here to explain it. So my sanity, right here, is 50%. And for the tutorial, it will stay that way. But your sanity will fluctuate, get lower or higher, as you play the game more and as you go into the house and go out. So, sanity, it'll cause the ghost to hunt you more often. Later on, we'll see that ghost hunts are actually a very integral factor of this game, so we'll need to make sure to top up our sanity using sanity medication. There we go. As you can see, the sanity bar begins to rise. Next up is lighting, including the power box and light switches. So, to keep our sanity stable, one of the main things we can do is turn on lights. We're able to keep our sanity more stable if we have lights on around us. Now, as you can see just there, when we turn on too many lights at one time, the power box will turn off, and we will need to turn it on again. But another thing the ghost can do is turn off the power box, so you may need to be aware of that. Our first tool is the EMF reader, or the electromagnetic field reader. With it, we can turn it on and off in our inventory, which has 3 slots. 1, 2, 3, and scroll back. So if we turn the EMF reader on, we can detect ghosts' EMF fields. These fields can be detected from objects it's been throwing, or even doors. So if we stand in this room and we wait for a ghost to start throwing objects, here in a moment, here we go. You can see the EMF reader goes from 1, jumping all the way to 3.5. Now, EMF level 5 is a form of evidence, so sometimes as you'll get that, you want to mark it down in your notebook. We'll get to that later. But as you need to know right now, EMF can be found on objects and doors. We'll wait for it to throw another object so we can get EMF level 5. There we go. That's a type of evidence. Now, we'll have to drop an item for this, but next is the temperature. This is one of the most important pieces of evidence you could ever get in this game, Phasmophobia. So, as you can see, the front thermometer starts at a reasonable temperature, and you can always determine the ghost room by using a thermometer. Before you get the evidence, you'll always want to walk into rooms and see if the thermometer drops temperature. If it starts to, you want to stay in there for long enough to see if it gets below 5 degrees, like it does here. Cold breath is also, this is why cold breath is so important, because it can help you see and hear if it's below 5 degrees. When the thermometer drops below 5 degrees, it is more than likely that the ghost room is where you're standing. So this is very, very important for determining where the ghost room is, and it is the most consistent way to find the ghost room. As you can see, none of the other rooms will have below 5 degrees. You'll see they'll keep rising. See, the temperature begins to rise when we enter other rooms. So, once we have found the room, now, the thingy in front of my flashlight, that mist or smoke, can usually be mistaken for ghost orbs, though this is not true. It's just a form of cold breath. You'll need to watch out for that. As you can see, when we are in the ghost room, and the ghost has the evidence type of freezing temperatures, the thermometer will drop below 0 degrees Celsius. As soon as it drops below 0 degrees Celsius, you can mark it off in your journal that the ghost has freezing temperatures.
Alright, welcome to the Phasmophobia menu. So to get to here, you want to press on your single player menu.
And then this will pop up. So here your difficulty is on amateur, and here's all of your starter equipment that is in the truck.
You might want to,
Yes. So here's all the maps, but obviously you're not going to have access to all these. You're going to start off with this very first one called 6 Tanglewood Drive. You just want to select it, and you'll go back to here.
Oh, make sure that you scroll to the right to check out the
Equipment Manager.
menu.
So this is where you can buy equipment that you can unlock throughout the game, and quick loadouts to set up your truck so you don't have to do it every time, and basically that's it. So then all you gotta do is just hit start. Alright, so once you are in the truck, I'll show you around a little bit. Right here is a timer, and basically, I'm not sure, is it when you get in the truck, leave the truck, or
When you open the front door.
Yeah, so when you enter the house, the timer will start, and basically that's your setup time. You don't really need to be worried about that. It just basically gives you time to find the ghost room and set up your stuff so you don't die.
The setup time prevents the ghost from being too active and hunting you while you're trying to set up, so make sure to make good use of it.
Yeah. Alright, so to start off, you want to grab 3 main equipment. You're going to grab a flashlight, you're going to grab a thermometer, and an EMF reader. Now, you should already know how to use these since my friend discussed it earlier. Alright, you're going to collect the house keys and open up the door. Alright, you want to get out your thermometer because it is most helpful for identifying the ghost room. So I'm going to walk in, and my setup time has officially started. Now, it's not something you should worry about It's just something to help you get started.
Your setup time ending does not mean that the ghost will immediately launch into hunting you, but even though it might be more dangerous, it just means that your time that the game has given you to be completely safe is up. So you still have as much time as you need to find the ghost room afterwards, but it is always best to go as fast as you possibly can.
Alright, so I'm just gonna go head through really you just want to head through every room in the house. Probably not closets, obviously, but enter every single room and just make sure that the temperature, try to find the room with the lowest temperature. Usually it's below 5 degrees Celsius.
You can see which rooms can be ghost rooms. They're usually the rooms that are larger, so things like walk-in closets and hiding places are never going to be a ghost room, so never look in those. Those are always not going to be worth it. But see, even this master bedroom bathroom could still be the ghost room, even though it is a slightly smaller room. So just make sure you watch out for all rooms that you are suspicious of being a ghost room. Make sure to
and also make sure to turn on lights frequently so that you don't lose your sanity. Oh yeah, here is the bone. So a bone is just, there's one in every single map, as well as a cursed object, which is actually one right here. This is just a mirror that tells you where the ghost room is, but it's really, oh geez. So there you go. As you can see, there's a ghost following me right now.
now since the setup time has not finished yet,
so if that happens to you, don't get too scared because it was not a ghost hunt, it was an event. Meaning that, see how the door is not closed? Usually the door will close sometimes, but a ghost event is just a quick little thing where the ghost basically tries to scare you. But yeah, just go check out every room. It came from over here, so.
For the record, we will also explain cursed objects, I'm assuming, in a later video. So.
Yeah.
Now, another thing to be worried about or another thing to be aware of in Tanglewood is even this little janitor's closet can still be a ghost room. So make sure to always be aware of that. And as you just heard, I'm assuming that door just creaked open. So if you can find the door, that'll usually help you lead to the ghost room. But making sure that doors are closed behind you also helps. But in this case, in your first run, don't worry about it too much. Just make sure going through every room and making sure that you're paying attention to the temperature.
Now, while we're looking for this room, I want to explain that while the ghost is hunting you, the door is locked, so you cannot exit the house. So, right here, you can actually go back here and hide. You just crouch down right here, you turn off your light, and you could hide from the ghost here. Now, if you look at the ghost and it sees you, then you're gonna die. So try not to look at the ghost unless it's just a simple event like it was earlier.
Yeah. In very basic terms, a ghost hunt is when the ghost, as your sanity is low enough where the ghost hunt threshold, which will be explained later in probably later videos, is above your sanity level. And that means that the ghost will begin hunting you. It will lock the front door. And the way it gets you is if it sees you through line of sight, if it can see you unobstructedly. But if there are obstacles in between you, the ghost won't lock onto you. It will still follow you around and try to get you. But certain ghosts have certain abilities, like the Revenant, which can move way faster. But the Revenant's ability to move fast will not be activated until it sees you through direct line of sight.
Yeah.
So your best chance of survival during the hunt is always trying to get out of the ghost's line of sight.
Alright, so right here, you can tell the sink is obviously on. And if you see this white mist in front of me, that is actually my breath. That is my cold breath, which is usually a very, very good indicator that this is the ghost room.
There's also many items scattered about as the
ghost obviously threw some stuff. So so we can see our temperature dropping. Now you can get out your EMF reader, and now don't just sit in here waiting for something to happen. Here, let me turn this off. Get your just go back to the truck and get more equipment so you're not wasting your setup time. So we can actually go check. It's probably over now. Yeah, my setup time is out, but that's okay. It doesn't. So the next thing I want to grab is usually a ghost writing book and dots projector. Now, this equipment, we don't want to tell you everything about the game because it'll be more fun if you can figure it out on your own. So basically, the ghost writing book is a way the ghost can write. Oh, EMF is going off. Look at this. EMF level 5.
Oh,
that was terrifying.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to summarize, that quick scheme of events is the ghost threw something, and that thing, when it's recent, the ghost will emit an EMF level. Now, different ghosts have different types of evidence, which we'll explain.
Yeah.
At a later date.
We need to set up, so you can set up your ghost writing book and a dots projector. This is a way you can see the physical form of the ghost easier, even when it's not, like doing what it just did. So you just want to set that up where it can get a good, vantage point of the room, and then you can go ahead. And the next thing I like to grab is the video camera. Now, what's so nice about these video cameras is that you can actually view the camera from your truck on this little computer over here. I'll do that after I set it up. Yeah. And then you can also get the UV light. Now, what's so nice about the UV light is you can actually see fingerprints and footprints that the ghost emits when it touches something. Now, these will almost, I don't think they can be on objects. So, that is something to be very aware of.
Brief technical difficulties. One moment.
That was not embarrassing at all. Okay. So you can hear the EMF reader going off.
Looks like we have EMF level 5. So, that means that the ghosts that have the type of evidence, EMF level 5, whenever you're in the ghost room and it moves something, it has a chance to give off EMF level 5. And you can mark that off in your
journal. So, now it's a good time to show you that. So you're going to go to your evidence page. This may look like a lot, but it'll get a lot more simple as you play. Here are all the ghosts you're selecting. Now remember, this game, while it's based off of ghost hunting, you're not, killing ghosts, which doesn't make any sense. You're just identifying what kind of ghosts they are. So we just had EMF level 5. So we click the EMF level 5, right? So these are all the ghosts it could be if it had EMF level 5. So that's what we're trying to identify. All right, so now that you've set up your video camera and dots projector, you're gonna come over to your computer, you're gonna walk up to it, and you're gonna come up here and select the video cameras. Then on the right, you can see you can have 4 cameras at once, and you can just hit video. All right, so now, this isn't a great spot, but it's really all we had. Oh, so if you hit record, you can actually get evidence of stuff happening in the room, and you can get money for it in the game. Like we almost just got the ghost in the dots projector. So now that we saw that, we can mark off dots projector in our journal. So we just click dots projector, and now we know it's one of these 3 ghosts.
From here, you can usually use your journal to figure out what type of evidence it will not be. So if you go through every type of evidence and you click on, let's say, ultraviolet, you can see that there's still a type of ghost that has ultraviolet. So if you keep going down the line, unpressing ultraviolet, and pressing freezing temperatures,
then we have the Oni, and then if you cross it off, the ones without freezing temperatures would be these ones. It's a process of elimination game.
Yeah, and then what you can do from here is you keep going down the list, pressing ghost orbs next, and then see now you still have a ghost, so you can go raid you, and then now, since there's no ghosts that have all 3 of EMF level 5, dots predictor, and ghost writing, we know that none of the ghosts we have will have ghost writing as an evidence type. So you can cross that off for forever. We will not need to use the ghost writing book.
All right, so let's head back in and go get more evidence. Alright. So far we haven't seen any ghost riding, but you can usually wait a little bit of time just in case. Almost freezing temperatures. I don't think it is though. It would have been there by now, especially on an amateur run. Oh. It's very close. It's going back up. I don't think there's any freezing temperatures, so you probably would want to cross that off. But it's definitely not 100%. It's something to keep in mind when you're closing up your investigation. Alright, so we see no ghost riding. We do have dots and EMF level 5. So these are the 3 ghosts that they could be. So let's now there is, I think there's one more thing. Yeah.
The one last evidence collector item we have yet to touch on is the spirit box. This is in the game. It's a way of communicating with the ghost. So you will say stuff, and the spirit box will scan radio frequencies to see if it's getting a response.
So basically, now depending on what your options are, there's this thing called voice recognition mode. If it's on voice, then you're physically talking into your microphone on your controller or headset, and you can change it to text where you have to type out or select questions. I usually have it on voice, so I come into here, I turn on the spirit box.
One moment.
This is scary. Oh jeez, is it hunting me? As you just experienced, I just died. So that's an entire run in Phasmophobia right there. And yeah, you can actually see around as a ghost. So now, explain a little bit about what it's like when you're done. So as you can see, the ghost type was a Goreo. We were really close to getting that, but we just died in the last moment. So obviously we didn't make a lot of money, but that's fine as you're starting out the maps. Alright, so once you're getting used to the game, here's your home page, and you may have noticed these daily tasks and weekly tasks. And basically, as you can see, these will give you money for each of these. So like for today's task, if we had not died, we could have possibly gotten a spirit box response, and we could have made 50 bucks off of that. Weekly tasks, the same idea. They're harder to do, but they're over the entire course of a week. And there's actually challenge modes. So if I go into here,
we will see that there is a challenge. Like
so every single week there is a challenge mode, and you can actually see. It'll tell you like how fast the ghost is, or what rooms, how often it changes rooms. Which yes, the ghosts can change rooms.
The challenge modes are preset by the devs of the game, so each week will be something different, and each week it'll usually if you can complete the challenge mode 3 times on the specified map, it is a clean $5,000, which goes a long way in helping you. You're leveling up, you're buying equipment, and many other things.
Alright, another thing to touch up on is multiplayer. Yes, you can play with other people, and I'm sure, sorry, I can't access it right now. But basically, you can create your own rooms that are private or public where people can join. You can play with your friends or just random people. You don't have to be communicating in any way, but you can be if you want to. And yes, this game is completely boring. You can actually, depending on what awards you get, you can actually customize your card and your character, which I think is pretty cool. I'm glad they did that. It's really boring if they didn't. And yep, there's the entire lobby, all your ghosts, trophies, all the equipment. And yeah, that is Phasmophobia in a nutshell.
One thing I would like to say is that this is filmed before the planned character overhaul in 2026. So if you're watching this in the future, the fact about you being able to change your character so simply may not be true. So take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And that's all we have to say about your first couple plays through Phasmophobia. We hope you enjoy it going forward, and I'll be uploading more videos on guides and other game mechanics, so we hope you tune in for those.
Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you later.